Thank you for joining us. We're Jack and Mary, and we're full-time RVers traveling the country and exploring new places. I'm also an artist, and we're always looking to capture our adventures on canvas. So come along and let's go chasing some landscapes.
Part of RVing, when you're pulling a fifth wheel, is you have to maintain the truck. So what we're doing today is preventative maintenance, and I have here a serpentine belt, and we're going to replace it. The truck has 166,000 miles on it, and it's better to fix something like that now than to end up on the road of a mountain pass and you're just stuck on the side of the road with no help whatsoever. So that's what we're doing today.
Okay, to begin this job, you're going to need a 10mm socket, an 8mm socket, a 14mm socket, 3/8 breaker bar, screwdriver, flathead, and a pair of pliers and a needle nose. Start by removing all the air intakes, as you can see we're doing here. Then the coolant recovery system is on the front where you fill the radiator. Be very careful with this hose here because it's a plastic nipple and you don't want to break that off. Holding the fan shroud on, there's 4 10mm bolts. You'll need an extension to get at these. So remove those. Then you have the tube going to the intercooler, which you'll take that off also, which is just one clip. You pull up and pull back on the tube. It slides off. Be a good idea to have a 10mm wrench to get into the bolts for the fan shroud. Then you have the coolant recovery. You'll need a pair of pliers to undo the clip, and maybe a long screwdriver to push down on the lower hose for that, and that pop right off. Don't forget, you'll have to refill your system with coolant when you're all done here. You're going to lose some coolant, so you may want to put a pan underneath it to protect the environment. Here we're removing the lower fan shroud 10mm bolts and the 2 forward ones that go to the radiator. You could use electric drill for this or an impact wrench. Now we're ready to remove the fan shroud. We pull that off. Now we're getting the, well, there's a wire that goes from the motor to the clutch fan, and there's a 14mm bolt. You unloosen that and you unplug it and move it out of the way so you can get at your belt, as you can see here. You'll need the breaker bar to loosen the tensioner on the belt. You might want to get, before you take the belt off, maybe draw yourself a little diagram on a piece of paper, the routing of the belt.
Okay. So when we got it all apart, we can notice these are idle pulleys, and they're definitely loose, 2 of them. So we're going to take one off and see if we can go get some replacements.
None of the rest of them are?
No, all the rest are good.
Make sure all the pulleys spin freely too. There you'll see a diagram of your belt. This is a 2 alternator truck. Well, most of them have 1, but this one has 2. So the one would have a different routing, belt routing. Now you just reverse your process here for taking it off. Get the belts on there. Make sure you get underneath it too and make sure your belt's all lined up before you crank it over. You don't want to ruin a brand new belt. We replaced the idler pulleys because they were loose and showing wear. Now we're just putting it all back together. Got a fan shroud back in there. There's 3 bolts on each side of the fan shroud. When you take it off, you'll see that, but make sure you put them all back in. On the other side, there was a power steering reservoir. There's 1 bolt, I believe, held that in. Just putting it all back together. You'll feel the fan shroud snap back into place here. It's kind of still popped up. As you can see, we'll get it here and it'll go down a little bit. Make sure you get the rubber piece back over the top of the fan shroud when you're putting it back together. That's for the airflow. Okay, putting our fan shroud bolts back in. Next will be the recovery right here. We go on the top, 10 millimeters. Don't over tighten them. It's just all plastic, everything, so you don't want to over tighten anything. I use a 1/4 inch drive for this, that way don't put as much pressure on them. You may want to mark a couple of your hoses. It's pretty simple. Everything goes right back in the same spot. Don't forget to pick up a gallon of coolant also. Unless you save your coolant, you can use your coolant and refill the system with that, or just get yourself some 50/50 and top it off with that. Make sure you account for all your tools so nothing falls down in there, or it can get caught in a pulley or a belt or anything and cause a lot of damage. So do a tool count before you start it up. Make sure you have all your tools when you finish your job. After getting the fan shroud and everything back on and all your reservoirs, you'll go ahead and put the air intakes back on and just make sure they're all the way on. And tighten them down. Make sure they're snug, especially on the pressure side where it comes out of the intercooler, because the turbo builds a lot of pressure, and if you don't have those clamps tight, it'll pop the hose right off. After you do get it all back together, make sure you run your engine, check your coolant levels, leave it set for a few minutes, and then start it back up and recheck your coolant levels. Maybe take it for a little drive, bring it back and check your coolant levels again, because there will get air pockets in it and you don't need that. Good luck with your project. That's going to be about it. Here we're going to start it up here in a few seconds, and it's not too bad a job. Some basic tools, something you can do at home and save yourself a lot of money. Thank you for viewing today, and good luck with your project. That thing was low. Okay, that's good. Now,
Okay, so we replaced the serpentine belt plus these two idle arm pulleys. The serpentine belt still had some life left in it, but it had 160,000 miles on it, and I feel a whole lot better knowing it was done. These two idle arm pulleys, they were definitely loose, so I feel very good that these didn't fail before too much longer, and that would have created a big problem. So I hope this helped you, and if you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave a comment below and we'll be sure to get back to you. Okay? Thanks. Please like and subscribe. And a special thanks to my buddy Curtis from HRP Automotive. He's been a great friend for a long time, and thanks a bunch.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And please share with your friends. Got a question, comment, or suggestion? Please let us know.